A deadly tornado outbreak across Ohio. This is a bird's eye view of the damage from our drone tonight. We now know 3 people are confirmed dead from the storms in Logan County. This as that EF3 tornado destroyed much of Lakeview, Orchard Island and Russell's Point. Now, take a look at all of this damage. This is all of that damage you're seeing here behind me. It's really just truly hard to believe. Homes, cottages and buildings leveled near Indian Lake, even destroyed at this point. This wasn't even the only tornado we saw in the Miami Valley last night. Right now, the National Weather Service has confirmed 3 tornadoes total, and that's just as of now. We have an EF1 in Mercer, another EF1 in Auglaize, and an EF3 in Logan County. Now, we do have team coverage from Logan and Darke counties tonight. Our team of reporters, my co-anchor is out there as well. We want to begin with my co-anchor, Adam Arrow, who is live at Orchard Island. And so, Adam, that damage is just simply incredible.
And really, Elise, you have no idea just how much it hurts until you come out and actually witness it with your own 2 eyes. I want to first of all tell you where we are located. We're along the main road going on to Orchard Island, which is right next to the Lakeview area where that EF3 hit late last night. Now, I want to show you a little bit about just how devastating that damage is. Take a look at this. You can see that pontoon boat there flipped nearly upside down. It's on top of that tree, which as you pan to the right, you can see that tree itself is uprooted out of the ground. And as you continue to move down along this property, another tree damaged, and you can see restoration work already taking place here. There have been crew after crew, volunteers and otherwise, coming out today to try and help all of the people who have been impacted rebuild their lives because of the just sheer amount of devastation that is out here tonight. Now, they were not the only ones visiting this area. Earlier this afternoon, Governor Mike DeWine surveyed the damage, meeting with homeowners and members of that community. He expressed his sympathy to those who lost loved ones, homes and businesses. He says the Indian Lake community will rebuild and the state will help in any way they can.
I'm always amazed at the resilience of the people of the state of Ohio. I had the chance to talk to some people who have lost their house or lost part of their house or who had been in some way impacted, and to see their spirit and their resilience and their toughness, and how strong they are, it's just absolutely amazing to me.
Now, the governor also thanking first responders and volunteers. Now, as everyone around here knows, Indian Lake, a big summer destination. Governor DeWine says it is not lost on him that summer season is right along the corner. He said he and lawmakers are now going to look for ways to help this community recover. Right now, they're still assessing damage estimates because this is such a large area of damage. It's unclear at this hour just how much they're going to need to recover from this. But as you have seen throughout today and last night, people are beginning to try that path of recovery. Elise?
Adam, thank you. And I know a big message from the governor was, we will come back. That was the community's message. And other parts of Logan County also seeing destruction tonight. Lydia Bice is in that Lakeview area at South Shore Estates. That's a mobile home park that was hit incredibly hard by last night's storm. Lydia.
Elise, residents here in the Lakeview area are still picking up the pieces after last night's storm. However, some are also mourning the loss of loved ones.
I've taken assessment. We have 6 people injured in hospital. We had some minor injuries other than that, but 6 people in hospital, and we had 2 fatalities.
Sherry Stevens is the resident manager at South Shore Estates, formerly known as Geiger's Trailer Park. 2 of her residents died as a result of Thursday night's storms, but they weren't just residents to her, they were her friends. Now, she and her fellow residents are left to pick up the pieces while law enforcement agencies search for more casualties.
People who lost their houses are trying to gather as many belongings as they can before it rains again and get them someplace safe.
Jim Rakoff works for Nitro Roofing and Construction. He and fellow co-workers were out assessing the damage this morning, but they also just simply wanted to help.
When it comes to anyone and everyone, we're here to help out. It's not just about the roofing, about the siding that we do specifically, just making sure people are good.
I asked both Stevens and Rakoff what the rest of us can do to help this community on Indian Lake.
We really appreciate all the offers of help, but in the next day or two, we need to have people really to stay out of here who don't live here or have family here that they're helping.
If you can get them like little power banks or something so they can plug their phone and call the people they need to, call their insurance companies, get the adjusters out soon. Bottles of water. I mean, people are just displaced. They don't have electricity. Some of them don't have a home now.
So as of right now, the Logan County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that 3 people have died as a result of last night's storms. However, we know there are many more receiving treatments for injuries at local hospitals. Now, I asked the residents here at South Shore Estates today, what do they need? Whether it be bottles of water or snacks. And what they told me that they really need are portable phone chargers. Not ones that plug into a wall, obviously, but the portable ones. That's what they need right now. Well, now I'm going to send things over to Jenna Borick, who's in the downtown Lakeview area, where residents are picking up the pieces there as well. Jenna Lee.
Yeah, thank you, Lydia. So business owners right now downtown Lakeview are trying to assess the damage. I spoke to the owner from the business behind me who said that contractors are coming out voluntarily, like the roof company. We could just hear the bricks crashing to the ground when we got here. And they are just out here trying to help and do anything they can for these business owners. Now, I want to walk you over here to where there's a recycling area that has been completely decimated. I mean, you can see a boat right next to all of the damage if Jared zooms in here for just a second. And this is just a little bit of what we're seeing here downtown. There are other businesses around the corner that have also been badly damaged, but this is what we wanted to show you for right now because we're going to get you those other pictures a little bit later. So now I want to toss it back to you in studio.
Jenna Lee, thank you. And volunteers, as Jenna Lee mentioned and even Lydia mentioned, have been working all day gathering supplies at Indian Lake High School for those in need. Now, the images of neighbors helping neighbors have really stuck with us, and it isn't just there, but really all over that area. Tage Joshi shows how the community is healing after tragedy.
These storms' impact across Logan County can be aptly described with one word: devastation. And a testament to that devastation are the ruined homes, wrecked marinas, and tattered flags. But another word that is just as important today is community. At the undamaged Indian Lake Roll Arena, the owners told me that as soon as they saw their building was still standing, they decided to provide warmth, free supplies, and all kinds of hot food to anyone who needed it.
If you need anything, please come and this is where we're here for. We will help. I mean, anything that they need. Obviously, we've got all these people that are coming in here and helping out.
In fact, they even let kids from the community come skate for free.
A lot of these kids I see all the time. And you know, for me to see them, I know they're okay.
A local business owner donated his time and machinery to clean debris. Plus, employees from the local high school brought warm food and supplies to the doorsteps of those who needed it most. Longtime Logan County resident Patricia Gaddis accepted a donation of warm pasta and more as she recounted the events of last night to her friends, family, and our cameras.
It all broke loose. I mean, it was a wall of white. That's all I could see. And then the next thing I know, things flying in the window, and he's laying out here on the porch with his head covered. But he's alive. He's alive and good.
Buckeye at the Lake is another local business that's donating hot food like these pizzas to anyone who needed them.
Just come, we'll feed you. It is heart-wrenching to hear the stories, but it's just, to me, it's just something we gotta do as a community.
Community members from across Logan County and beyond have truly prioritized community building the day after a horrific disaster.
That was Tage Joshi reporting. Now, many of you at home, of course, wondering how you can help. So Dayton 24/7 now, we teamed up with the American Red Cross and iHeartRadio to help those impacted. You see that QR code? Scan it. Grab your phone, scan it. Now you can support the American Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund. Together, we can be on the side of storm victims who need our help. Logan County, though, not the only area hit. In Darke County, people were also injured, homes destroyed and damaged when storms hit there. Gwyneth Falloon is now live out in Darke County for us. So, Gwen, what are you seeing tonight?
Elise, I am here just down the road from the intersection of Martin Road and Horatio Harris Creek Road. Now, we weren't actually able to get down Martin Road last night. This is actually one of the streets and areas that Natalie and Nick were actively telling people to get to a safe place last night. But they have certainly calmed down, but people, they are still picking up the pieces left behind last night. This building behind me, this is the Oak Grove Church. You can see the roof. It is just ripped off. They tell me about 70% of that roofing system is gone. There's ceiling damage inside. Now, just across the way here, we're going to bring you a look now. This is a 5-acre property. It belongs to a couple. They tell me they've lived there for more than 30 years. They actually lost a brand new greenhouse. One of the roofs on one of their sheds is completely gone. The home is not safe to stay in. The community support, though, they say has been amazing. Someone actually came out to help tarp the shed to protect at least some of the things inside, and he asked for absolutely nothing. Now, neighbors in this area, they say they never imagined they would go through something like this. The power, they say, is still out, but I'm going to be out here monitoring this damage throughout the evening, and we'll let you know as soon as we learn anything new here on air and online at Dayton247now.com. Back to you.
Gwen, thank you. Here's a live look from our EcoPlumber Skycam. Beautiful evening out there. Much different situation, Natalie.
Yeah, certainly a much different story after a very active evening last night. Wanted to recap what we have seen thus far. Now, keep in mind, these are preliminary tornado reports. The National Weather Service, they are still out there doing storm surveys to determine exactly what happened. Darke County, I'm sure we'll get an update coming in here shortly. But for right now, we have an EF1 tornado in Mercer County, EF1 Mercer and Auglaize counties, plus the EF3 in Logan County. So to kind of talk more about the EF3, how strong is an EF3 tornado? So winds with an EF3 tornado between 136 to 165 miles per hour, which brings severe damage. Most standing objects will be toppled, vehicles displaced, entire floors would be destroyed, bark from trees will be just stripped off. So that just gives you a perspective of what they saw in Logan County. Now, it is much calmer across the Miami Valley right now, so I'm going to talk about the weekend forecast and what we can expect into next week as well.
Natalie, thanks. Of course, we're going to continue to track the cleanup efforts and the impact of the storms on air and online. You can get those alerts for events like these sent right to the palm of your hand. Download the Dayton 24/7 Now app. Of course, we were actively sending out push alerts last night. Download the app, scan the QR code. It'll take you to your app store where you can download it for free.
Despite the overwhelming amount of devastation here in Logan County, there are countless stories of miraculous survival. And after the break, we'll be introduced you to one man who says he was watched over by a guardian angel.
And I'll have the rest of our weekend forecast and what we can expect into next week, too. That's coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
And we're continuing tonight to follow the aftermath of the devastating tornado in Logan County. Despite unbelievable loss in the Indian Lake area, there are also countless stories of miraculous survival. Adam Arrow, again, my co-anchor, joining us live again from Indian Lake with the story of one man who felt he had a guardian angel watching over him. Adam.
And Elise, we're in another location than we were at the beginning of the show, and I want to show you something very similar, and that is another pontoon boat that has been flipped out of the waterway here onto the shore. This is just one example, again, of just so much devastation that happened overnight here. And as the sun rose this morning, our morning anchor, Nathan Edwards, he was out here with his photographer, Mickey. They talked to several survivors. He spoke with one that survived unimaginable horror.
Yeah, he's way out of his norm.
Ron Watt has lived in Lakeview for decades. The past 9, he and his wife have also lived with the rescue Chihuahua, Chi. But Thursday night was unlike any he's ever experienced. An unrelenting tornado bearing down on them.
But I got against the wall, against the chest freezer, against a couch, and got the dog and put the dog up under me, put some pillows on him, pulled a big sleeping bag over us to try to protect the best we could. And about that time, all hell broke loose.
In moments, it was over. The time to recover will take far longer.
It's very devastating to just instantly pretty much lose everything, but you do have to be very thankful that, you know, me or the dog didn't get a scratch on us. And when you see this devastation, to not get a scratch was very lucky.
You think you had a guardian angel last night?
Yeah, yeah.
Earthly angels also looking over them. A family friend bringing Watt, his wife, and dog a camper to stay in.
I said, wow, you know, thank you, because you can see what I got to live in, you know. So he went and got the camper, and we backed it in here in the dark. And like I say, it's just running off battery power. I just got a little light in there. I don't have any heat or anything like that, but at least I have a roof over my head, so I'm thankful.
Back out here live on Orchard Island tonight, that is just one of so many stories of generosity that you see when tragedies like this strike. That just one example again. And then another story as well of just the miraculous survival, considering the devastation that we are seeing all around us and will continue to for the weeks to come. Back to you.
Well, thankfully, a much calmer weekend around the corner for us. We have actually a pretty nice day on the way for our Saturday, but our next weather maker will be making its way in, and that's going to be a cold front arriving tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, which will bring some showers late into the day on Saturday, followed by some flurries in the forecast for our Monday. Much colder air is going to make its way in. Skies continuing to clear after our storm system that brought us that severe weather is now off to our east. We'll continue to see quieter weather through this weekend, but as I mentioned, some flurries are in the forecast. So tonight we're going to drop into the 30s. It's going to be a cold start tomorrow. Some spots could be around freezing early tomorrow morning, but we warm up nicely into the 60s tomorrow afternoon, a little bit breezy as well. But our next weather maker then moves in tomorrow evening. This will bring a few showers late into the day on Saturday night. And this is with a cold front that will eventually drop our temperatures. So we'll start out Sunday in the 30s, only making it into the 40s Sunday afternoon. But here's a look at Monday. We'll start out Monday, likely some upper 20s. And then by Monday afternoon, highs only in the 30s. And we'll be looking at a few snow showers, few flurries around the area, not anticipating accumulation, but certainly a big change from the weather that we have seen here recently. So next several days, we'll see temperatures begin to fall, upper 30s, but we do begin to rebound, highs back up into the lower 50s by our Wednesday. So we'll start to return closer to normal by next week, but certainly chilly for Sunday, Monday, and our Tuesday. A brief taste of winter does return to the area. So heading into these next several days, there you'll see 60s, 40s on Sunday. Monday, we do have a few flurries in the forecast, and then by this weekend or start of next week, we have that chillier weather with more showers back in the forecast by next Thursday and Friday as highs get back into the middle 50s.
We'll be right back after the break. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Well, weekend's looking a lot quieter than the certainly devastating storms that made their way through the Miami Valley last night. But here's a look at what we're expecting. So cold start tomorrow, a little breezy tomorrow, back up to 60. And then Sunday, it is going to be colder, only in the 40s. Clouds increasing. There will be showers late Saturday into early Sunday, but just briefly making their way through. But turning colder, a few